Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anna Soden with the In Crowd, and we have Dion Foxx here again because I mucked it up last time. We can't curse on the show, so we're not going to. But I did not bring a microphone for him to wear, so nobody could hear him. So it was like me talking very, very loud, and then this person.
That's what it sounded like. However, I was talking at the same tone I'm speaking right now. Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear. I am one of those individuals who talks a little bit louder, but I'm excited to have you back. So we're going to talk about what we talked about last time.
Sounds great to me.
Sounds great. So you are, well, let's talk about the ex-NFL player first. Let's get that out of the way because everybody's going to know that, right? That's a common fact. So tell us about your time in professional sports.
Let's see.
I like to put people on the spot. I don't give them the questions beforehand.
I don't really talk about it a lot, and it's not a bad thing. It's just I like people to get to know who Dion Foxx is before they realize who Dion Foxx, the ex-ball player, is.
Gotcha.
Because I was Dion Foxx before I made it to the NFL.
Correct.
And I'm Dion Foxx now that I'm out.
Correct.
And hopefully a better Dion Foxx. I'm not perfect, nowhere near, but hopefully a better Dion Foxx than what I was before, during, and after that time. Right. However, I do appreciate my time I got to spend playing professional ball. I played a few years in the NFL. I played in the CFL, and I also played in the XFL the first time it came out back in 2020.
Okay. What's XFL?
XFL was the Extreme Football League. So, Dwayne Johnson had that football league, and then it merged with the USFL, and now they have the UFL. So it's basically another avenue to have opportunities for young guys that's coming out of school and guys that may have played in the NFL to get back into it, to get film, updated film, play, make some money. And it's good for them. Oh. I love the fact that they did it because the first time that they did it was 24 years ago. And they seem to forget that there was an original XFL back then. And I played on the Birmingham Bolts for that team. Okay. We had a lot of ex-NFL guys playing in that league. And it was a great experience. I think what happened is at that time we had what they call NFL Europe. Okay. So it's equivalent to the farm teams for baseball, like the Richmond Squirrels, or for the Atlanta Braves, when it used to be the Richmond Braves. Okay. Okay. So they were sending guys over to NFL Europe to play. They found out that they can stay here in the States and play and make the same amount of money without going overseas. So a lot of guys were choosing to stay here in the States and play because they don't have to worry about exchange rates, finding somewhere to live, traveling back and forth, trying to ship money back and forth and all that. And so the NFL, because they were not a part of that at that time, there was some discrepancies and disagreements and what have you. And, the powers that be prevented the XFL from coming back because a lot of guys could have made a living off of that for a few years, just like they have arena ball, because back then they had arena ball. Gotcha. They had Arena 1 and Arena 2. So Arena 1 is like the NFL of arena. Okay. Arena 2 is like the farm league for arena where you can get bumped up. Okay. And Richmond had a couple of Arena 2 teams here for a while, giving guys opportunities to play, get film, and maybe a chance to get out and, have a shot for a trial, play on Sundays. So that's awesome. But I enjoyed Miami Dolphins, Washington Redskins, and now they're the Commanders. I was going to finish, but they were the Redskins when I played. I was a Redskin. I wasn't a Commander. I wasn't the football team. I was a Redskin, but they are now the Washington Commanders. And I also went to Green Bay. I was there for a short while and was released right after camp. So I wasn't fortunate enough to stay there. Went to Canada after that. Okay. Played a year and a half up there. Came back. And then did the XFL. And after my last knee surgery, I, decided I would rather, walk.
Keep your body intact?
Well, somewhat intact. I still feel some aches and pains, but I wouldn't change it to say, for anything. But, awesome. I just made a business decision. Yeah. So I was able and blessed to do something that was a childhood dream.
That's awesome.
So, I thought I was gonna be a quarterback though, but I can't throw the ball 20 yards.
Oh,
I mean, I can throw it, I can't pass it. There's a difference.
oh, gotcha.
Okay, passing has accuracy.
Oh.
Throwing the ball, you just throwing it.
You're just throwing.
Yeah. So
I could just throw things.
So I was on the other side of the ball where I was hitting things. So that was fun too.
I know you've explained to me several times what position you played, and it just
I played linebacker. Yeah, I hit the people. Yeah,
you hit the people.
I get to knock people. There's only a couple of sports that you can do where you can knock the mess out of somebody and not get in trouble.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Is that-
Hockey.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay. Boxing.
Yes.
MMA now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And football.
Yes.
But now football, you have to dial it back some because you still get fined.
Right.
What,
aggressive or excessive.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
What they deem excessive contact. Right. You got on helmet and shoulder pads. I'm all about safety. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I don't like dirty shots. I don't like underhanded shots. I don't like stuff like that. But in the flow of the game, some of them look worse than what they are. And I understand the safety of it. However, in the split second, when you out there reacting, and then you have to try to switch and change how you're coming in, sometimes that could create an injury because you're altering the natural flow of the game.
Yeah. Trajectory of your body.
So, I hope they continue to work on that and teach the techniques that they want to see on Sunday during the game. So it makes it a safer game.
Gotcha. Well, I wanted to share, I know that you prefer people to like you before, know you before talking about the NFL, but I think it's important because I think it's something that you brought into what you're doing now, right? It's integral part of who you are now and what you're doing in the community. So let's talk a little bit about that. So you have a foundation, it's called 5756, which is based off two of the numbers that you used or were assigned to you.
That I wore when I played.
Thank you.
My jersey numbers.
Sorry, thank you. Words are hard.
So, public service announcement right here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anna doesn't know a lot about football, so we teaching on the run right now. So it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna roll with it because she's not the first and won't be the last. But she's working very hard to understand. So boom.
There you go.
I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for the PSA. I needed that. Thank you.
But she's cool. She's working hard to try to get it right. So it's just relax. Like you tell me, relax. I want you to relax.
Okay.
Okay, this is your thing. Just get it.
The numbers you wore.
Yeah.
During the NFL. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. I won't remember that in a week, but that's fine. So let's talk a little bit about your foundation.
My foundation is part of creating positive change in the community with kids, veterans, families. So growing up, single parent, my mom was a teenager when she had me.
Okay.
From that teenager, she graduated from high school a year early, went to college, graduated from college, worked very hard, ended up owning her own business called Leave the Figuring to Me.
I love that name.
And she was an accountant. She started off being an accountant at Reynolds Metals. And then she lost her job at Reynolds Metals because they were downsizing. Then she got another job somewhere working temp. And she was my shero. She still is my shero. I'm gonna say that. I lost her to cancer 15 years ago, right before Mother's Day. So her anniversary is coming up of her death. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I'm gonna end up crying. Yeah.
And then I'll cry and then it'll just be a big podcast.
I'm a mama's boy. Okay. But she taught me so much as far as, okay, you mess up, just don't get in trouble doing the same thing. Don't do it again. If you know this is wrong, don't do it again. So I've learned my lesson with things like that throughout life. Life is one of those things, life is gonna keep on lifing. Mm-hmm. So through the roadblocks, the obstacles, you have to learn how to run through them, go around them, go under them, go over top of them. You have to learn to keep going because if you let them stop you, you stop living. You stop living, there's no need to be out here trying to do anything else because you're limiting yourself. So I've always been a person that has been a part of or gone to support other guys that have had charitable foundations, a lot of golf tournaments, football camps, youth football camps, things like that. I actually did a golf tournament here for creating Homes for Our Heroes about 4 or 5 years back. Did it 3 years in a row to help out with that. And I told the person that was running that, she offered to pay me to help out. I was like, no, take whatever you was gonna pay me, put it into the foundation to help them out. So I'm good with that. I'm doing this because I love to do it.
Right.
It goes back to something we heard another young lady on the radio today talking about, passion for something.
Right.
You gotta have a passion to do it. Don't do it just because you're good at it. Do it because you have a passion for it, because then it's not work.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And so I have a passion for it. For instance, just a few things that I'm doing at the building right now. So I'm actually.
Which tell them where it is that you're located, because it's not George.
Is the name has been changed from George Wythe now to Richmond High School for the Arts. So the name,
yes.
So the name change has gone from George Wythe High School to Richmond High School for the Arts.
Just in case anybody was curious.
4314 Crutchfield Street,
That's not
Richmond, Virginia. And
I'm learning, people. I'm learning.
I am the student activities director there. I've been there now 10 years, but I've been the AD for 8. This is my 8th year as the AD. So in charge of putting together programs, starting new sports programs. In the last 2 years, we've brought wrestling back after 8 years of not being there, and girls soccer after 9 years of not being there. This is the 2nd year for wrestling and the 1st year for girls soccer. And this past year, we had a young lady make it to states in wrestling, which is the first time in the school's history that we've had a young lady make it to states and qualify and competed. And she finished 2-2 at the states.
That's amazing.
So that it is. And here's the other thing. It was her first year wrestling.
Oh.
It was her first year wrestling.
That's
so,
awesome.
I'm a contrary to what everybody thinks, I am a daughter dad. I have a son. I have a son. He's the oldest, but I have 3 daughters. So you get protective and you watch them do things, and so I kind of gravitate to the kids, the guys and the girls, and talk to them and try to just have conversations with them. And most and foremost, be honest with the conversation that I'm having. I don't want to sound like a used car salesman when I'm talking to them. I have a conversation. For instance, one of my conversations, like especially with the guys. They start to feel themselves, and I tell them, how was your age, man? I said, look, young man to old man, let me talk to you for a little bit. And I start the conversation like that. And they're more apt to listen to what's being said.
Because you're talking to them, not at them. And there's a big difference with that.
Exactly. And I pull them to the side. I said, what we talking about? It's none of their business. Let me talk to you a little bit. And you take what I gave you and you make it your own and work with it. I said, just trust me on that. I said, even if it's this much, that's a little bit more than what you had before I talked to you. So we do right now. I do financial literacy programs for the kids. I started that this year. I have a partner with Chase Bank. Comes in. His name is Mr. Ricky Parker. Met him during the summer. Came by, told me he worked for Chase Bank. I said, hey, I got an idea. I want you to partner with my foundation, my athletes. I need a financial literacy program once a week. Can you come and do it? He's been doing it since September.
That's amazing.
Another person who is, and she got on me about it, she is a mortgage loan officer.
Correct.
Okay. Adriana, I got it right.
Adriana, you got it right.
Adriana. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't talk with my Spanish accent. So she's been coming in since the spring. My springtime sports, I have an influx of ESL and L students. That's English as a second language or English language learners. The majority of them speak Spanish.
Right.
Okay. They're Latina kids. About 35 to 40 kids. She comes in and she talks to them on Wednesdays. Ricky comes in and talks to my English speakers on Thursdays. So that way I don't have to worry about a Title IX anything. Everybody's equal, and I want everybody to be equal as well. Both of my partners love what they do when they come in and they work with the kids, which makes me feel good.
Right.
And that sense of giving back and giving that type of information to these, young men and women, they need that.
They do.
They need that because,
teach it in school.
We don't teach it.
18 and they're off to college or doing all the things, and then they're supposed to just know when nobody took the time to teach them.
And they need to know more than just Cash App.
Correct.
And I hear my students talking. Everything is Cash App.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cash App.
Yeah.
Let me send it to you, Cash App.
Yeah.
I got a Cash App card.
Yeah.
That's not credit.
No.
We need to teach you what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Because to them, it probably feels like fake money, like they never see it, right? So
it just gets sent.
just
It's
goes
transactions.
Yeah, back and forth. Yes, magic. It's just like magic.
But some of the other things that we're doing, I have a food pantry now, and special thanks to Anna.
Oh, you said it right.
Yeah, I work on it. I work on saying the names right. So, excuse me. So about 3 months ago.
It's been that long?
3 or 4 months ago,
Okay.
yeah. Because this is May.
Yeah, okay.
So I was approached about doing an interview in Honest Magazines. So, for the magazine. So I said, okay, cool. I told my story in the magazine. She read the story. A reporter did the interview. She read the story and she gave me a call. She said, hey, I understand that you need some stuff for your food pantry you're trying to start. I said, yeah. She said, well, when do you need it? I said, well, hopefully it'll be up and running by the time we get back from spring break. Or either I get it started right before spring break, and then when we get back, we up and running. She said, okay, cool. My company wants to donate either a refrigerator or a freezer to you. Okay. I started smiling over the phone. I said, okay. And she said, well, when we get delivered, I said, whenever you want to, I'll be there to get it. So lo and behold, I think a neighbor or two were moving or whatever, and they didn't want to take anything with them. She said, hey, I don't have 2 refrigerators. Is that too much? No, it's not. When you want to bring them, I'll be there. So her and another neighbor, a friend of hers, put it on the back of their trailer. And I humbly thank you so much for all of that.
The trailer.
Drove it to the school, loaded it up, walked it into the building, set it up where I needed to have it set up in my office. Yes, in my office. And they actually stayed and cleaned out the refrigerators for me. I was like, you don't have to do that. It's like, no, we don't mind. And they sitting there cleaning out everything. They bought me bags back for the kids to put the stuff in the bags.
Got out to Kroger, because Kroger, another neighbor of mine, I said, hey, you are the VP of the Kroger here locally. Do you mind if I get bags? He said, yeah, absolutely. How many do you need? And I went and got 3 boxes that must have at least 1,000 bags.
Per box.
Yeah.
Per box.
Per box.
And so, you know, she is the human Rolodex, because you notice how she threw that VP of the local Krogers. So, you know, the fact that you have neighbors like that, or friends like that, or connections like that is a blessing, and it's a blessing on top of blessings on top of blessings. So I enjoy doing that. We did, myself and Chase partnered and did a turkey giveaway for Christmas.
Oh,
we did, it was short notice, but we did 10 turkey dinners.
That's awesome.
Next year, our goal is to do at least 25 or more. But, you know, we're setting a goal for each year for it to get bigger and bigger.
Did you hear that? So Christmas, Thanksgiving time.
You know, and just to take care of the kids. Working in this school system and working in any school system, because any school system can go through this. You really don't know the stories of the children that come into that building every day and what they're dealing with once they leave us. They're in a class with you for about an hour and a half, each teacher. They're in the building for about 8 hours.
Right.
Okay. 8.5 hours, eight hours to 8. Well, no, 8 hours. And to find out that I have one of my students that live in a hotel with their parent. They're homeless. We have some other students that may live with aunt or uncle. We have some students that have, and I want you to hear this clearly, walked to Virginia from Texas.
Holy shit.
Where they've jumped on.
I know. I'm sorry.
Where they've jumped.
It was deserving though.
They may have gotten rides here and there for short distances, but they walked up here, and now they're in school, and they're living with an aunt or uncle, and they're also working, going to school, sending money back home to take care of family. There's nothing I can say but what do you need?
Yeah.
Do you need anything? Well, let me know if you need something, and I'll do my best to help you out. I've told my bosses and my supervisors, I said respectfully, I work for the kids. I'm going to always work for the kids. So just to give back is one of those things that I've always felt strongly about. I have a few people that have been donating, and the people that have been donating to what I've been doing and supporting what I've been doing are people that I've met after coming in contact with, with Mike King.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a couple of my fraternity brothers, my line brothers that have helped me out. I have one in particular that has helped me out. Like, it's just a surprise because I'll look and all of a sudden it's money in, because I also have a Cash App, unfortunately. We talked about Cash App, but I have a Cash App.
It's an easy way to do it.
But I've only had Cash App for like less than a year. And they asked me one day, did I have a Cash App about a year ago? I said, no, so I made one, hardly ever use it. But it came in handy for this because he cashed at me the money. I looked at my Cash App and I saw I had an alert, a little green dollar sign. I was like, what is this? Clicked on it and I looked, called him up. I was like, dude, you sure? Because of, what he sent, and is very much appreciated. But he's also head of social action for my fraternity, and social action is basically what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Okay. And anytime that he's called me and said, hey, we got this going on, 90% of the time, what time and where is it? And I'm there with it.
Right.
When you have people that do things that aren't for a photo op, we have people that do things, the little things mean just as much as the big things.
Right.
It's great to do whatever you can do. But I do the little things, the middle things, and the big things as much as I can that time permits me to do.
Right.
And as long as I'm able to reach and have an impact, a positive impact on somebody's life, then cool.
Right.
The other day, had a little girl that needed had a student that had been waiting to get a physical to play sports. She's been waiting for a couple of months. So what happened is I called and talked to her mom. I said, hey, Mom, I know you've been working and life is lifing. That's my famous thing. Life is lifing.
That's somebody else who says that.
I said, and I respect you for that. I said, however, I want to know if I can have your permission for myself and another teacher to take your daughter to go get a physical tomorrow so she can start playing sports. I was like, I'll take care of everything. I said, our foundation to pay for it. So don't even worry about it. I said, I just want her to start. I said, because she's been standing around. She watched them doing indoor track. She watched them doing this. And now she's watching them doing outdoor track and doing softball. And she really wants to participate. So is it okay? Mom had went through some things and told me that at one point when she was going to take her, that somebody broke into her car and stole all her stuff, stole her wallet that had the insurance. I said, don't even worry about that right now. I said, I'll take care of her physical. As long as I'm going to send a physical form home with you, I'm going to send a permission to ride form home with you so she can ride with myself and another teacher, a female teacher. We're going to take her to get her physical during a school day, sign her out with your permission to go and bring her back and let her go back to class. She was like, okay. And we did it. Now the young lady is playing, she's about to play in her third softball game today. So it's just,
those are the little things. That's the impact that that girl, when she looks back at her childhood, will remember that somebody took the time out of their day to do something what seems to be innocuous to somebody else, but it is very much meaningful to that student. And that's what you do on a daily basis. Every day.
I try to do, I got a soft spot for the kids. So it's like whatever I can do to help, but I also make sure that they know, hey, I'm not your friend.
Right.
Okay. I'm here for you.
Right.
And I will talk to you. If you do something that's disappointing, I'm going to let you know I'm disappointed in you.
Right.
But you need to fix that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm going to have a conversation because I can still have that same conversation in this tone, maybe a firmer voice. But at the same time, you're going to understand that we're not doing that again.
Right.
Some take a little longer than others. However, you have some that know, okay, I'm not gonna mess this up. But that's part of building that relationship with that student, where you have them come back 2, 3, 4 years later after they graduated. Coach Foxx, you in the building? Hey, I want to come by and holler at you for a little bit. And that's them. I'm here. Just let me know when you come.
Yeah.
Come in, sit down, talk to me. Let me know how they're doing, and have a few that are doing, very well. I've also had a few that have died because of things that they were a part of, or places that they were, or certain circumstances that were beyond their control. And the unfortunate part is that they're no longer with us.
Yeah.
And it's sad. I've lost 13 students since I've been teaching. 13, one of them, no, 2 of them to incarceration, and 11 to death. And it's
more than 1 year. That's too much.
And I can't. I'm just the teacher and the coach and the AD.
Not just.
Well, when I say just, I know how I feel.
Right.
I can't begin to imagine how their parents feel.
Yeah.
Their grandmothers, their aunties, their cousins, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
My attachment to them was through the school, sports, academics.
Right.
And that's how I was able to meet them and talk with them and be a part of their life, and hopefully a positive influence for the time periods that I had them during the day.
Yeah.
Should not have that when you come home and you go to that bedroom.
Right. Yeah.
Things like that. So when I say only, I meant in that aspect. Gotcha. Because being a father of 4, I already know how empty a void I would have inside of me.
Right.
And blessings to all of the ones that are no longer with us, and, may they continue to rest in peace. Mm-hmm.
So you've done other things as well too, to sort of just to lighten the mood.
I apologize, but
apologies, but it's true, right? And so some of the other things that you've done is you've provided like equipment, right? Running shoes, like pointing so people can see my shoes. Cleats, right, for the track team. You provided sports bras for
the girls. Yeah. So my foundation, about 2 or 3 years ago, we went and got a grant, and we ordered shoes through, they were Under Armour shoes for basketball. So the last 3 years, and I ordered a bunch of them. So for the last 3 years, I have given the girls' basketball team at the school basketball shoes, provided basketball shoes for them. When I first started as an AD, we had new uniforms, but the equipment you wear under the uniforms is just as important.
Right.
Being a daughter dad, and all my daughters were athletic. And I remember the first time I had to take them to get fitted for their bra. At that point, I had to come to the realization that they were growing up. So my young ladies that I have that are playing sports, volleyball, track, indoor and outdoor track, basketball, softball, they also need the same type of equipment. Right. So my foundation, we bought 500 sports bras.
Wow.
Bought 100 from small, medium, large, extra large, and double X. Bought 100 in each size.
Wow.
And I give them out every year. Start off with 2 for every size so we don't run out. And then when they need more, I come back and give them another one. So they don't have an excuse if they have 2 or 3 bras.
Right.
They have bras that they can put on and wear during the game, because we have to protect them too.
Right.
Compression bottoms for the boys, instead of them putting on a pair of boxers underneath some football pants or basketball shorts running up and down the court.
Right.
You can't do that either. You have to make sure you have on the proper equipment and support for yourself so that you stay healthy.
Right.
Because those things, the lack of having that type of equipment can cause issues later on in life that we don't want.
Absolutely.
And I forgot about that. I do Like I do what I do for the kids. I don't, you know.
But that's important to, I think that's important. You're not making light of it, but like to you, it's just part of who you are and what you do, which is amazing because people need to know that there are those individuals out there in the community who are doing those things for those kids and how can they help, right? So the Mike is huge about it. Everybody that I surround myself is very, very intentional about creating a sense of community. And so that's why, like, that's why I've done it. That's why I've shared with you and done what I can, because the more I give back, the better our community becomes. And that's what you're doing, but you're doing it on a daily basis. I get to do it every once in a while. You get to do it on a daily basis. And those kids are lucky to have that.
I think we all do something on a daily basis, regardless of if we know it or not. Calling a friend and checking on them, being kind.
Yeah.
If you do that once a day, then you're doing something on a daily basis. A kind gesture, you're doing something on a daily basis. We live in a world now, it's very sensitive, but at the same time, we still need more kindness.
Yes.
And I work hard at it every day to keep myself at a level to where I'm still able to do it. Sometimes I have to step away, take some deep breaths, and reset to come back and approach the rest of the day.
Right.
But what I work really hard at doing is making sure that I don't let anybody can have my remote control. And I've said this before. My remote control is just like you have a remote control where you can change the channels on TV. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody to change my channel on me or my attitude or how I am or how I'm going to act or what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to let somebody
control your life.
Have my remote control in their hand to change me and change how I am and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. So I make sure that
I'm taking radical responsibility.
Exactly. And sometimes you may have to step away to reset so that you know it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. You know, I get satisfaction out of stepping back and seeing the outcome of something that I was able to do to help somebody.
Right.
And it helps me. My grandfather was very big in this area. Some of your listeners may know who he is. His name is August Moon.
I've heard that name. Why do I know that name?
Because
besides the fact that I read it in the article, but I recognize the name. So why would I recognize it?
Huge advocate here in the city of Richmond. He was the president of the Hall Street Business District for a while.
Okay.
He had a building down there that he worked out of. He also did music.
Okay.
He has 3 or 4 blues albums.
Okay.
And he made a rap album as well called Granddaddy Raps.
Okay.
So the biggest thing that he's known for, well, one of the things that's known for, not the biggest, but one of the things that he's known for also is that for people that are rap connoisseurs, Jay-Z sampled one of his songs.
Well, that's awesome.
And didn't think that he was still around. And so Jay-Z had to, you know, go back and do the contracts or whatever, you know, because when you sample somebody's song, you have to get the release.
Right, yeah.
And then
to be able to do that.
And then whatever it is, and then whatever the contract says as far as being paid, then you do that. But I remember when that happened, I just started laughing when I found out about it because it was funny because I remember when he was making the album. But my grandfather is very, 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 very talented. Lost him last July. And I was one of the pallbearers at his funeral, and to be there and see all the people that were a part of the proceedings that spoke and the impact that he had on them. We're talking senators, current and past, talking mayors, current and past, talking delegates. I mean, it was a lot of people that were in there, but they all knew him and they knew him well and they knew what he fought for. He's also known for a TV show he had on cable access called Tell It Like It Is.
Okay.
And he was famous for telling it like it was.
Okay.
He told it like it is.
Okay.
I remember going on there when I was in college. I came back right before I went to the league, and he was at my college graduation there. It was something to see all of that, and then to look back on what I'm doing on a smaller level. I said, well, I guess I got it honest.
Yeah. For both your mother and your grandfather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so just the giving and doing, and so I'm just going to do what I'm going to do on my end. And they said a saying that he used to always say. And his saying was, I'm just a little nobody trying to do a little something for somebody.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, so I might have chopped it up a little bit, paraphrase, but that's basically it. That's the gist of it. Yeah, I'm a little nobody just trying to do something for somebody. And it made a lot of sense sitting there listening, because that was the phrase that resonated with these senators and governors, mayors that were up there talking about the interactions that they had with my grandfather.
That's awesome.
So, he spent a lot of time, fighting for the people in the city of Richmond. But, it just goes
the same.
I'm doing what I can on my end. My saying is that I'm just trying to do what I can do as long as I can do. So
we appreciate that. And I'm sure the kids appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to coming and actually speaking to the kids, because I'm going to do a follow-up article on the literacy program that or the financial literacy program that you're doing, because I want to interview them. I want to hear it from their perspective as well too. So I look forward to that. So tell people how they can find you and how they can support you.
5756foundation.org, at IG 5756 Foundation. And
on Facebook, it's 5756, but it's written out, people.
It's written out. 5756 on Facebook. On IG is 5756 Foundation. She's correcting me. I'm not. I have someone that does my social media.
Just sharing so that people can find you.
It's fine. I'm smiling at it. It's okay. Mr. Foxx, 57. Mr. Foxx at 5756 Foundation, and Mr. Foxx 57 at Gmail. So all those ways are ways you can get in contact with me. If you go to the website, the number's on the website, 804-295-7800. That's the number to the foundation. Leave a message. We'll get back to you. Anything. Any hands make light work. And so we have to continue to do what we have to do to help our community out. I love what I do, so I'm going to do it until I can't do it anymore.
I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing us your story. Again, my bad. It was my fault. But I appreciate you being here and sharing. And if you want to donate, please go to his foundation, go to the website and see how you can help. Because, like you said, many hands make light work.
Indeed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad that you guys joined us here today. As always, stay fluid, my friends. I'm always cheering for you.
One more thing. I'd like to thank you for having me on again to do this. And I'd like to thank all of the people that have given me a chance to voice what's going on, to make more people aware. So Mike King, Wanda, Tana, everybody in the Mike King conglomerate family. And I know that I'm, one of the last ones coming in, but I'm not going anywhere. So thank you for having me. Of
course.
I appreciate it. Humbly accept any and everything that you've done to help out my cause. And I'll be here for you guys too, for anything that you need. Awesome. So thank you so much.